Hey guys, TehJew22 here, and welcome back to another edition of TehJew22 Talks. Now, last time I talked with my good friend, Shy Guy with the Lazy Eye, and I actually had a good talk with him, and he's a really nice guy. Do check him out. But for my next guest is one that I have been friends with much longer than Shy Guy himself. I met this person through one of my good friends. I believe it was, I think it was Pika Power, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure...
And that's not quite right, I'll elaborate more on that.
Well, and yeah, that's his voice, but we'll get to... Well, I was going to say, I met him through, you know, Pika Power, True Who, among others, but... ever since I met my guest, you know, he's been making a lot of videos, and lately he's been on fire. He has been on fire. But with that said, I give to you the anti-boredom ball, the blue rubber ball, my good friend, KonisBored.
Hello everybody, my fellow anti-boredom fighters, although I can't technically say that because they are technically your fans, so I'm just gonna say hello everybody. Yes, I'm like super glad to be here, because I typically collab stuff, don't do it with me because I have very bad memories of collab stuff, but I really hope this one will go well. I really do hope so.
Oh, of course. Well, if it wasn't Pika Power, who was it then that led me to you, or what happened?
Well, I guess you don't remember then. Okay, believe it or not, the person who led you to me was Solar Warlock. You remember him?
Yes, I remember him, and I still have mixed feelings about him, and you know, I don't want to talk too much about him because...
Yeah, I know. I'm like in the middle of the road myself. Okay, how would I say this? The very first time you met with me was probably very accidental. You replied to my comment on his video.
Oh, of course, I think, yeah.
That is actually before the Pika and everything. That one was the intentional one. Intentional friendship.
Yeah, like it was through Pika Power and True Who that I officially met you, but I guess I met you before that, but...
you don't remember, that's it.
Well, of course, I mean, there's a lot of things I don't remember, but it wasn't that memorable. But I will say that, you know, well, it was memorable in the sense that you've been doing a lot of great stuff for your channel, and I have to say, you've done a great job.
Well, thanks. I really appreciate that.
No problem. But that leads me to my first question. How did you get into the Let's Play business?
How did I get into the Let's Play business? You mean at the very beginning, or why I started, or something along that line?
Well, I mean, if you have to go back that far, then by all means, go ahead, Mr. KonisBored.
Alright then, I hope I don't bore you. Okay, so basically, I remember in the past, YouTube wasn't even that big of a thing. I remember when I was like in primary school or elementary school, when I was around 9 years old, 10 years old, YouTube was like the new in thing, but I didn't really care for it because back in the past, I didn't really care for the computer or even the internet that much. Back then, it was stuff like dial-up internet. No, we had broadband. But it was still slow and you really couldn't run anything on it, so I didn't really learn much about YouTube until 2009. 2009 was when I was around 12 years old, and then the game New Super Mario Bros. Wii sort of came out. So the first Let's Play I technically watched would be Wii Likes to Play's Let's Play of that one. But even then, although I watched it, I didn't really have any feelings on becoming one myself. It was just, you know, there, but that was what introduced me to YouTube, and I guess ever since then, I do check on YouTube every now and then. I'm not actually on YouTube as much as I am now, but yeah. Then I guess around secondary 3, or when I was around 15 years old, yeah, that first Let's Play was the stepping stone. This is another big milestone for me. I decided to start up a YouTube account. Now, to be perfectly honest, I can't remember why. It wasn't to make videos, that's for sure. It was one of those dead accounts which exist to. I think I signed up for fun because back then I was signing up for all sorts of social services like Facebook and everything. So that's the second milestone. So I named my channel KonisBored, and here's the most ironic part. I actually named it KonisBored because boring describes me. It really does. At the time, at least. You can ask me about that later.
Yeah.
And that leads me to my third milestone. I actually decided to start posting videos just for fun at first, about 1 year later. And yeah, that's basically how I started getting into the business, technically.
Wow, that is amazing. I didn't realize it goes back that far, but you mentioned
there is quite a lot of inspiration, actually.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you mentioned 2009 when New Super Mario Brothers Wii was just a brand new game at that time.
Yep.
Oh my god. Yes, I do remember We Right to Pray because hell, I still watch them to this day. Maybe not as much as I did like before, but you know, especially
it still happens.
I mean, it still happens, and the fact that you know it holds a special place in my heart. Really, it does. Especially the skeleton roller coaster level. That was awesome.
Yeah, I guess it is, but technically speaking, they weren't the ones who got me into the Let's Play business. They were just the ones who introduced me to YouTube, to the site as a whole.
Yeah, that was awesome.
The one who technically got me interested in Let's Plays and everything, I doubt you even heard of that guy. But his name is Waddler D. I don't think you ever heard of him. I believe I feature you do. You have?
I have heard of him. I've never I never watched his videos, but I know the legend of who he is.
Ah yes, he was, I guess there's something about his videos that's a bit charming. I don't know, I can't really describe it, to be perfectly honest. But if you must know, yes, he's the one. I guess it's something to do with the minor editing he does occasionally at the bottom of the screen. I like that. I like stuff like that.
You mean annotations?
No, he does minor editing at the bottom of the screen occasionally. I think it's with Movie Maker or something.
Oh,
they're just to voice his comments or opinions or something. Yeah, I like stuff like that. I really do.
Well, I can't tell you how. Well, actually, as far as Waddler D, like I don't know him that well. Like I don't know him the way I know you. Like
I also don't really know him that well, to be perfectly honest. But
no,
yes.
But I know who he is, though. I know the legend of who he is, though. I never really knew it went back that far. But I might as well go into chronological order with the career that is KonisBored.
Oh boy, chronological order, trying to bore me already, huh? Never mind, go ahead. I guess it's easier for you this way.
Well, it technically is. I mean, anything to make it easy, not just for me, but for you, the guest.
Yeah, I guess I remember all my stuff in chronological order.
Yeah. Well, okay. Let's start with last year, or late last year.
Hey, but you know, TehJew, if this interview goes up in 2015 and you say late last year, your viewers are gonna get a lot confused.
Okay, I should be more specific, like we're talking late 2013.
Yeah, so, that's what I'm talking about.
So, okay, well, I'll give you that one. Late 2013, you made your official debut with the channel with a remake of Kirby's Adventure, but it's called Kirby's Nightmare in Dreamland.
Yes, it was. To be perfectly honest, I'm not exactly proud of that one. I guess it started me so I can be a bit charmed, but it really isn't that good in hindsight.
I didn't think so either, but
yeah, I have to replay that game one day.
Yeah, I mean, it, like I said, it's good, but it could have been done a lot better. Hell, even my comeback Let's Play of Kirby's Adventure was a lot better than that.
Yes, it was. I must admit, it was.
I would not be saying this if I didn't think it was true, but
yeah, I understand. I get your message.
Oh, you know. Well, okay, so you did that, and you did what is it? Mario Party Advanced. Yeah.
That one was blind. I think that one was sort of a more landmark one. Although technically I still had some audio issues, they were somewhat more minor than they were in Kirby's Nightmare in Dreamland. And it was around there where I started some of the quirky trends that still is with me to this day. I don't know how I came up with the Tumblr voice. I can't even remember which video it started in. For those of you who don't know, the Tumble voice is when I go into this high-pitched, squeaky voice like this.
Yes, I was about to ask you about the Tumble voice. Like,
where did it come from?
Well, before I go any further than that, I might as well explain to those who don't know about KonisBored. Like, they know me, but they don't know KonisBoard. KonisBoard has this voice that he goes a bit high-pitched than he normally does, and it all started with Tumble. Now, Tumble is from the, well, Mario Party 3, as well as Mario Party Advance, and that's where he came up with the voice. Like, it was just something original, so, where did you come up with it?
I guess it was, where did I come up with it, to be perfectly honest? I have no idea. I guess to be fair, I mean, like, when I started the game, I gave Tumble a normal voice, so I don't know why I suddenly came out with a high-pitched voice out of the middle of nowhere. I guess it's to make things interesting for viewers, because Tumble tends to say a lot of stuff like, hey, look at the board, go there, go there, go there. So if I repeat it all over and over and over again, it would get boring, I guess. And now pretty much whenever there's long narrations, I tend to use that voice. I really do.
Oh, of course. I
guess to be fair, since I did a bit of singing in the past, it could be my roots coming back to me. Actually, no, I think I know where I came from now that I think about it. When I was around 14 or 15, my co-curriculum activity, they actually took me to this unit instructor camp, because when I grow up I want to be a teacher, hopefully.
Oh, that is so awesome. Like, you don't hear that very much from sadly us Americans nowadays. Like,
yeah, I heard that teachers on your end, you're facing a shortage of teachers.
Yeah, well, hey, I mean, there's still some teachers out there, but the fact that you have the passion to do it, if that is your passion, go for it. Hell, maybe you can be my teacher sometime.
Yeah, right. I hate flying. I'm ridiculously scared of heights. Anyway, as I was saying, they sent me to this unit instructor program so I can be an instructor to my juniors. How would I say this? What was my camp or unit instructor's first thought of me? Every single instructor, the program goes like this. You're supposed to give lessons, like, I'm supposed to give lessons on, first aid, no, not first aid. Something like a history based off, Red Cross. I took that as a co-curriculum activity in the past. And then, what else? Outdoor activities, so stuff like pitching tents, outdoor cooking. I had to teach stuff like that. But I had to teach it in a fun kind of way. Well, my unit instructor's very big complaint about me was that I was monotone as heck. That's something that doesn't even change to this point. I mean, like, when I first started Kirby's Nightmare and Dreamland, I still was monotone as heck. So I guess I didn't learn anything.
Sorry.
No, but to be fair, he did taught me some, my instructor's a she. She did teach, I had two instructors now I think about it. She did teach me to vary my tone by singing the Do Re Mi song. So I guess somehow or rather that must have been subconsciously planted in my brain. So, because one of her advice was, do vary your pitch from time to time so your audience doesn't get bored. That's some advice I can even give to some YouTubers. If you have a monotone voice like this, then you're gonna get nowhere. So I decide sometimes for long narrations I should vary my voice, and I guess that's how the Tumble voice was born. You have the instructors to thank for that. So next time I'm narrating narration like this, it's because I'm really varying my voice so that you don't have to listen to long, boring crud.
I'm sorry. You know what? It is true because, well, actually, when I first started out, I was kind of monotone in a sense, but...
Yeah, I guess everyone sort of starts out like that. You need to really get used to it, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, I mean, nowadays, I can't even be monotone. Even if I tried, I can't be, whoa, how are you doing, KonisBored? I'm very good, KonisBored.
Yeah, I can't be either, unless there's still occasions where I could be monotone, but on the most part, the moment I start recording, I pretty much can't be monotone unless I'm super tired, super drowsy, and don't care for what I'm playing at all. That's pretty much the only way.
Or you just have to be so damn bored.
Yeah, I hate boredom. I'll elaborate more on that when you ask another question relating that.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. So you came up with the tumble voice. That's awesome. But it was also around that time that you met one of your good friends, and heck, actually, this person is a good friend of ours, and her name is Ryoko.
Yes, Ryoko. I should probably elaborate more on her. Actually, it's not around that. Wait, was it around that time?
Well,
Let me think. Let me think. Yes, it was approximately around that time.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, Mario Party Land Advance, although it's not that good in hindsight, although it's alright in hindsight, it's actually probably a first landmark one because I started tiny quirks that make me different from other, starting YouTubers playing games all over the place. So yeah, I had stuff like a Tumblr voice. I can't remember what else I had. That game has a lot of dialogue, so I guess I gave a lot of voices or something. So yeah, it's around that time I met her. To be perfectly honest, I'm pretty certain I met her because I was planning to do Kirby Superstar, so I was like, I'm gonna type Kirby Superstar, search filters, then I happened to chance upon her. Perhaps the first thing that made me chance upon her is that she was playing the game pretty much completely blind.
Wow.
She really was. I don't see that often.
Well, hey, when it comes... Well, actually, that's kind of later on, but as far as... how did I find Ryoko? Well, I found her by going to your channel and your Let's Play of Mario Party Advance, and I noticed, like, some of the comments... Yeah, they were
the
like...
comments?
Yeah, the comments.
Yeah, I think she started commenting around that time. Just around, so you got pretty much lucky.
Yeah, so that's how I, found Ryoko, and...
Although, to be honest, when she chatted to me once on Skype saying my early ones were kind of crud, but then over time I got better. So yeah, that's assuring.
Well, I mean, hell, not even my first stuff was any good. I mean, it was okay, but...
Everyone's first stuff, on the whole, is kind of... You have to kind of look at an improving way. I mean, like, if you upload your first stuff and you think it's awesome, and then you keep uploading stuff of that quality, it's gonna get you nowhere. You really have to, what's that called? You really have to improve upon every video and video and video. That's kind of my psychology. I hope to make every Let's Play and every video better than the last one.
Yeah, I'm still doing that even to this day, and, I get where you're coming from with that. I really do. And let's see. But as far as we're talking about Ryoko herself. My question is, what do you think of her? Because what I think of her and what you think of her are two different things.
To be perfectly honest, she's quite unique. How would I say this? She has a very unique personality for a lady. That's pretty much really all I can say about her, really, without spoiling too much.
Well, there's nothing really to spoil. I mean, but when it comes to Ryoko, she can be funny when she needs to be, and and then we've seen how over the months how serious she can be when the need calls for it, right?
Yep, I have.
And we'll get to that part in more detail later, but yeah, the fact that she can be funny as well as silly, and the fact that you can just laugh at the fact that she rages at times.
Sometimes I can laugh, sometimes I feel sorry. Although, to be perfectly honest, she once commented on my video saying that, I believe this is the comment, she will always laugh at my rages, always.
Really?
Yeah, that's just the sort of person she is. When she sees me fail, she's just gonna laugh. At least that's what I think the comment is.
Well, that goes without saying. And, well, let's see, next person. I'm trying to think of people as well as Let's Plays that you did throughout the whole of the career that is KonisBored.
Well, to be fair, I guess if you're talking about Let's Plays, you can just skip to the next landmark one. That one, I believe, is Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
Well, yeah. Okay, well, no, I was thinking about other people, like, Solar Warlock.
Yeah, him, yes.
Like, you did say, now that I think about it, you know what, maybe it was him that introduced
It
me
is
to
him,
him.
it is
was
him. To be fair, it is him. It really is. To be fair, when I first met you, it was unconsciously to a comment and I got a comment reply? Okay, I'm pretty certain this was what happened. I clicked the comment reply, I saw someone reply, but I believe it was a generic reply like, thank you for cheering up my friend, and then I just clicked the back button or something. But to be fair, it is still him because he was the one that was responsible for bringing all of you together and making me meet you personally anyway.
Yes. It's kind of bittersweet, which again we'll get to in a moment, but at the time...
Haven't you already been through this?
Yes,
haven't
I
you
have.
already talked about this?
Yes, I have, but it's just, you know, the fact that it involves you in a sense, but at the time, yeah, he introduced me to you, and that's how I met you, and you know.
Actually, I believe it was us meeting on the comments on the sign-up page, most likely.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I believe I wasn't really that close to you before that.
Yeah, that's, you know what, that is true. And then let's see what else. Oh yeah, that's right. Pika Pika Power and Truhu.
By the way, I met Pika Pika Power before I met you, by sheer coincidence as well.
Really?
Yes, because apparently everyone wanted to do Kirby Superstar. He was doing Superstar Ultra and I happened to find him on the search results. So when I saw him on the same sign-up page, I was like, what? It can't be that a small world.
Wow. You mean, it's like a twist of fate, man.
It is, it really is.
I never knew that, actually. That's something that I never knew. I mean, I always, I mean, I talked about, you know, Pika when I was just talking about Pika, but,
Well, I first met him there, I really did. I just left a generic comment on his video, I believe, I can't actually remember, but yeah, I believe that's really how we met. To be fair, I believe I saw his, arena special, you were on there, but I can't remember whether it was before or after we signed up for that group channel.
yeah.
You know that group channel?
Yes.
The one we keep going in roundabouts of the topics.
Yes. And before we get to that part, how did you meet Truhu, and what do you think? Like, oh yeah, I almost forgot to mention. What did you think? What do you think of Pika Pika Power?
I really think he has sort of a good. The only problem I can find for him is his stuttering, stammering. But I guess he can't help it. But I really hope he gets that fixed. I mean, like maybe some medication for that. Or my brother actually has some speech impairment program, so I guess he could follow the same thing he does and practice his speech. But because I'm not actually that a master of medicine and stammering, I don't really know. I guess that's really his only drawback, downfall.
Well, I mean, I know that it's bad, but I don't know if I told you that. I don't know if I told you, but I kind of did have a bit of a stuttering problem, but it wasn't because it was medical. It was just because I had stage fright, especially when...
I do have stage fright. I do have stage fright.
Yes.
Even in real life. That's the one thing I can thank the instructor program for that I went. Unit instructor program.
Uh-huh.
They helped me get over it, technically. I'm really, really glad I went for the program, even though I was like forced to go for it, because it's like, back then it was like, why must I go for it? But after the end of the program, I was kinda happy, but I didn't think that the advice they gave in the program would still benefit me like 3 years in the future.
That is crazy, but you know what? You tend to remember things that stick in your mind, and it just doesn't go away. It's something that sticks to your mind.
Uh-huh, I guess so.
Well, I mean, the fact that you're even talking about it, that tells me something. But as far as Pika, you know what? I really think that I don't know if he can get that fixed or not. I mean, the only thing he can do is just talk slowly somehow. Like,
I guess that sort of works, because that's also the advice my speech therapist gave my younger brother when he was having speech problems. Try to talk slowly. I think my brother, he has mild dyslexia, but I think he slowly got over it, slowly. I don't really think he has that much of a dyslexic problem now.
Well, and before we go any further, I believe your brother goes under a different YouTube name.
He isn't really much on YouTube now, but yeah. I believe right now he's basically slacking in online games or resting. His studies, how I say this, he's not exactly coping well now. I mean, like, not to put him down or anything, but I was always the sort of smarter one of the two siblings. No, I'm serious. No, I'm not putting him down. It's like, yeah. So he really needs to catch up well on his schoolwork, which is a problem because he loves procrastinating on that schoolwork. Well, since we're already talking about my family, I guess I could talk about it slightly more without really revealing too much. I don't want to reveal too much stuff.
No, don't.
My father's a smoker.
Wait.
I really dislike that.
Wait, you mean Mr. KonisBored? Like, we'll call your dad in this case Mr. KonisBored because you're just KonisBored.
Alright, I'll just go with it. He's a smoker. That's really bad.
Yeah, it is bad.
I dislike smoking. And it burns your money like no tomorrow, especially that given in Singapore, which is where I live, they cast a ridiculously heavy tax on cigarettes.
Oh, you know what? That's why I don't even smoke. Yep, I don't smoke and I don't drink. I guess you could say I'm straight edge, but I don't have that straight edge attitude, though. That's the only difference.
It's stupid. I personally think it's stupid. Yeah. So, I don't know it was because of the smoking, but both me and my brother, we have slight physical health issues, such as for me, I was born without a right kidney. It's congenital.
Oh no.
It doesn't really affect much in the long run, but that just means I gotta pay more attention to my health. As for my brother, as I already said, he has some mild speech problem. He had some migraine epilepsy problem in the past, but I think he's mostly recovered by now. So that's a good thing at least.
Yeah, and what about Mrs. KonisBored?
Nothing much to be perfectly honest, but I do like my mother. She's very kind-hearted.
Aww. Call me a mama's boy, but I do love my mother and I do love my dad.
Yeah, how is your own family, by the way, since I talked about mine?
Oh, how they doing, like, right now?
Yeah, how are they doing?
Alright, well, as of the time that we are recording this, and it is the 18th of December. Now, of course, I realize that it could be 2015, like, in the future.
It is the 18th December for you, but it's 19 for me.
Yeah, okay.
Time zones.
Yeah, that's the only thing. So, like, it's Thursday over here for me, but over there it's already Friday.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, I was gonna say, as far as my family, like, let's start with, my dad.
You mentioned him quite a bit.
Yeah.
In your, TehJew updates.
Yeah, I call him Mr. TehJew, because I'm TehJew22, but TehJew, my dad, he's doing really good, and, he works, but he loves his job. That's the thing. He loves his job, and, his job, like his boss, right, I should say, they do treat him well, and, he's been with that company for a long, long time, so I don't see why they wouldn't treat him well.
I see. You kinda, yeah, that is quite a stable job for him, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, he loves to cook. Like, he works at a restaurant.
Oh, he does?
He works at a restaurant, but you would think that by working at a restaurant, he would be able to, as we say in America, you would think he would, quote, hook us up, which is another way of saying he would be able to, make something, like invite us to the restaurant and then make us something for free. Or
that I don't think that will happen. The cook won't be allowed. Is it the manager won't allow that?
No. I mean, you would think he would be able to, but no, he doesn't. And you're right, he won't. He couldn't. But he does love his job. Does Mr. TehJew?
I really hope Ryoko doesn't hear this. If you're hearing this right now, Ryoko, I know what your reaction is gonna be like. She has I think, was it baking or confectionery job? and she doesn't like it at all.
Well, I don't know if that was supposed to be revealed.
Nah, she always blabbers about it anyway.
Well, I wouldn't have noticed really, but as far as, let's see, I talked about my dad, but as far as my mother, Mrs. TehJew, because I'm TehJew22, and you know you already get it. But Mrs. TehJew, I mean, she's doing pretty well with her job. She moved into a new office, but it's the same job, just a different office. And she's still trying to get used to the new office settings, but she's doing all right. Really nice.
I see.
Really nice.
Is that all of your family?
No, there's still one other person left, and that is my sister.
Younger or older?
Younger, even though, yeah, younger, but you can just call her Toadette because that's what I call her.
Uh-huh. Does she like that nickname?
Well, at first she hated it, but then when she realized that I have, like, what, 250 subscribers plus, that's when she was like, you know what, I don't mind being called Toadette. You know, but then again, you know, she then came to realize, well, I don't want my name out there, so she figured, it's okay.
Yeah, like, it's like an alias for her, technically. Like,
yeah.
How I would never reveal my name or anyone else's name, for that matter.
Oh, of course. But yeah, Toadette, I don't know if you remember from Via Vanille's interview 2 interviews ago, but I did mention that I became an uncle.
Oh, yes, I do roughly remember that. Although I don't remember whether I commented on that because I think that was around my finals week.